Coming up next on Newswatch at noon, with new signs, travel on the bike paths is getting easier for bikers.
Some community members are upset thanks to fest traffic.
And the gathering place in Athens is undergoing renovations for a big anniversary. Newswatch at noon starts now.
Lack of transportation for pedestrians returning from Numberfest has residents upset. Good afternoon, I'm Rachel Nemi.
And I'm David Michael. Saturday's State Route 56 was host to pedestrian partiers heading home from the concert. Newswatch at Noon reporter Lily Bradley is live in the newsroom and tells us that hundreds of students walking back to campus caused some problems for area residents just trying to get back into their houses. Lily?
Well, the good news is things weren't as bad as last year, but hundreds of festers blocking the road is still a problem to solve, especially for area residents looking to get back into their homes.
Over the weekend, State Route 56 was host to a major traffic jam. Not from cars, but from concert goers heading home from a long day of partying at 14 Fest.
Due to the lack of transportation provided by the city, festers were left walking home on Route 56 late at night in the dark.
The decision to close the highway came after hundreds of festers began the nearly 3-mile trek back to campus a little after 9 p.m. Saturday night.
There was some concern with people who lived on that stretch of the road not being able to get back to their homes. They were turned away by police personnel. So that's something we need to look into and figure out whether they can get better service to get back to their homes.
But I'm not pleased that they closed the road because we're kind of stuck there and we can't get in and out of our houses.
However, the city was pleased with this year's outcome and highlighted the changes made from last year.
The people walking back, it was more of a stream of people and not tons and tons of people at the same time.
The noise is loud and it's a lot of people and it's an inconvenience, but at least the emergency squads did not have to drive through a sea of drunk people.
As for next year's Numberfest, Councilwoman Pappy hopes the city can work with other local officials to prevent future traffic jams, whether they be from cars or pedestrians. Reporting live in the newsroom for Newswatch at Noon, I'm Lily Bradley.
Thanks, Lily. To see what other Numberfest changes are being discussed, visit woub.org/studentmedia.
The Athens County Bike Path Commission plans to repaint and add signs to mile markers on the bike path. The plan is a joint effort between volunteers from Athens and Nelsonville, where the new markers will be installed. 12 new metal mile markers will be installed on posts close to intersections. The goal is to encourage the use of the path.
First-time users or families might be like, well, how long is that? I don't know if I want to do that. But if they know, oh, okay, it's 3 miles. Then they'll, I think, be more apt to use it. So,
the Bike Path Commission received a grant for the project earlier this month. The signs will be installed next month in both Athens and Nelsonville.
O'Bleness Hospital is expanding. Ohio Health announced it will merge its radiation and medical oncology programs for cancer patients yesterday. The president of Ohio Health O'Bleness Hospital, Mark Seckinger, says the renovations will be worth the multi-million-dollar project.
To have this process get started and design will start for a fall groundbreaking or sledgehammering of the wall breaking.
The project is expected to be completed by fall of 2017.
A late flu season is causing for one campus clinic. OU's Campus Care reports an increase in flu cases among students even though the official flu season is over. The number of flu cases is causing a 2-hour wait at Hudson Health Center. Campus Care tweeted that the long waits are the result of staff members themselves being sick with the flu.
Older septic systems are increasing the level of pollution in the Hocking River. So the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency is implementing a home sewage improvement program. The program improves failing septic systems that dump bacteria into the river. Athens County has received $200,000 from the EPA for homeowners to upgrade their septic systems. Participating homeowners could receive an upgrade for free if they meet certain income guidelines. The Athens City County Health Department says interested homeowners should contact Department Sanitarian Patrick McGarry.
The demolition of the President Street Academic Center is still on track for early May, even after protests by residents. The building is over 100 years old, giving it a spot on the National Register of Historic Places. The Athens City Historical Preservation Commission says that the building has historical and architectural significance. The commission argues that the demolition will diminish the architectural continuity of Athens. The demolition will cost $1.5 million. The Athens Police Department is recognizing officers for their efforts in serving the residents of Athens. Officer Destry Flick received the Officer of the Year award for his ability to remain calm in a crisis and solve patrol crime. Flick also received the Life-Saving Award for helping an individual in cardiac arrest. Flick has been with the department for over 10 years. The Athens couple charged with animal abandonment have filed a countersuit. Sue Pepper and Tim Warga filed a suit against a woman claiming her cat was trapped and taken away. Pepper and Warga claim that Amber Cavender is guilty of libel, slander, and conspiracy. They are asking for damages of $15,000. The suit is a response filed to a claim filed by Cavender saying that her cat was taken away by Warga after it was trapped.
A general from the Japanese Consulate's Office of Michigan and Ohio will visit Ohio University today to present a lecture to the public. The Consul General will present his remarks, U.S.-Japan Relations and Ohio, in the Friends of the Library room in Alden Library at 1 p.m. After this presentation, the Consul General will answer questions from audience members. The Gathering Place will celebrate its 40th anniversary next week. The facility has been a home away from home for those struggling with mental illness ever since those services closed at the Ridges. Newswatch News reporter Michaela Marshall is live from the Gathering Place with how the organization has been serving its clients for nearly 4 decades. Michaela?
Well, the Gathering Place serves many functions to many community members, from volunteers to students, staff, and members. The home provides support for those coping with mental illness.
Games, music, art are just some of the activities members participate in at the Gathering Place. This house on Congress is a safe, home-like space in Athens, open to any person in treatment coping with mental illness.
They come to the Gathering Place for peer-to-peer support, meaningful activity, a sense of ownership and empowerment.
To the members, the Gathering Place means more than the meals, field trips, fun, and games the home offers.
How would you describe this place to someone who's never been here?
I would invite them to come experience it for themselves.
It's a very homely, family-type atmosphere.
While members receive help in all aspects of their life, volunteers also have a lot to gain from the Gathering Place.
I came in, just sat down with a member one day, and we talked for a few hours, and I didn't realize that my time was up because we were just having a good time. We have similar experiences in life. We've done similar things, been similar places.
Social work students at Ohio University are required to complete service hours, but for some, even after their hours are complete, they stick around at the Gathering Place because of the bond they formed with the members here.
I was coughing. A couple of members came up to me like, "Hey, you okay? Like, you need to do anything, go anywhere, get some soup." Like, they were trying to give me some advice on how to start feeling better, and they're very supportive.
One member says he wishes he would have found this support sooner.
Had I known this was here, say, 5 years ago, or even 10 years ago, I would have been here then.
The Gathering Place hopes to become more visible in Athens. Next Thursday, an open house will showcase the recent renovations and help celebrate its 40th anniversary. Reporting live from the Gathering Place for Newswatch at Noon, I'm Michaela Marshall.
Thank you, Michaela. To learn more about how you can volunteer or how the Gathering Place can help, go to wub.org/studentmedia. And both Afghanistan and Israel are suffering from terrorist attacks.
And primary polls opened in New York today. Stay tuned for the latest on the candidates when Newswatch at Noon returns.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome,
I think we're breathtaking.
and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, Chief. I got this.
Is that Bran?
Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to getschool.com for more info.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfire.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
At least 28 people are dead and more than 200 are left injured in a suicide bomb attack in Afghanistan. The Taliban has claimed responsibility for the attack in the country's capital, Kabul. A truck bomber targeted security office that protects top government officials. The Taliban says its gunmen then went in and opened fire. Also in the Middle East, Israeli police are claiming a bus explosion in Jerusalem a deliberate act. The president and prime minister of Israel aren't hesitating in calling the blast a terrorist attack. The office of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released photos allegedly showing people handing out candy to celebrate the blast. Hours after the incident, Netanyahu vowed to settle the score. 21 years ago, a bomb went off at the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. Today marks the anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing. 168 people were killed, including 19 children who were in the daycare center. More than 650 people were injured. The blast damaged over 300 nearby buildings. Until the 9/11 attacks, the Oklahoma City bombing was the worst terror attack to take place on U.S. soil.
Baltimore is also remembering the one-year anniversary of Freddie Gray's controversial death. Gray died from a spinal cord injury 7 days after being arrested on a weapons charge. Video of his arrest sparked protests and riots throughout the city. 6 officers were indicted in his death on a range of charges from involuntary manslaughter to reckless endangerment. And Bill Cosby's wife Camille takes the stand today to testify in the second part of a civil suit against her husband. A judge ruled last week that the deposition would move forward despite her lawyer's attempts to terminate the second session. She has already testified once in the defamation suit, brought by 7 women who say Bill Cosby sexually assaulted them years ago.
A vote in Brazil's lower house is the latest push towards impeachment of the country's president. The impeachment papers arrived in the Senate, where the motion will be heard next. The call for impeachment comes after Rousseff was accused of breaking budget laws and borrowing money from banks. If the impeachment is approved, Rousseff would have 180 days to step down. Primary polls have opened today in New York. Native New Yorkers Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are the favorites to win. However, the New York Times reports that Governor John Kasich and Senator Ted Cruz are trying to keep Trump's share of voting below 50%, limiting the number of delegates he can secure. Senator Bernie Sanders is also seeking an upset as well. Clinton has secured at least 1 vote, having cast her own ballot this morning. But ABC News reports polling in New York suggests Sanders has slowly been creeping up on Clinton's lead. Sanders has narrowed the lead to as little as 10 points in recent polls. However, Clinton remains confident in her home state.
It feels great, and I am so excited about both campaigning here in New York, voting here in New York, and I love New York, and this has been a joy during the last 2 weeks to be here all over the state.
The consensus is that New York is a close Democratic primary, and that will assist Clinton in the polls. Voting will remain open until 9 p.m. Donald Trump may be favored to win, but his campaign has hit a bit of a speed bump. Trump's national field director, Stuart Jolly, resigned Monday. It came after a Saturday meeting in which Trump gave more power to recently hired senior staffers. Jolly says he wasn't pushed out and encouraged his field staff to stay with the Trump campaign. National political director Rick Wiley now takes charge of the campaign's ground operations. The sunshine is here for the week, but rain may come our way this weekend.
And Ohio's athletic revenue has people questioning how athletics spend their money. Newswatch at noon will be right back.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay, but remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Time is running out for rescuers to find more survivors from Ecuador's devastating earthquake. The death toll has surpassed 400 after Saturday's 7.8 magnitude quake. Authorities deployed thousands of soldiers and police to the affected areas. Rescue crews say getting supplies in those areas is a major challenge. Because of communication problems, this was the deadliest earthquake to hit Ecuador in nearly 30 years. A real tragedy of what happened over there in Ecuador. Lucky than a place here that we don't have that, like in Ohio, more in California area.
Yeah, luckily for us in Ohio, it's not really a big earthquake zone. But let's check in with our weather center. The weather center. Kelly and Stitz is here with our forecast.
Yeah, guys, luckily we will not be having any earthquakes, but we will be having great weather this week. Starting with today, we're having our average temperature of 60 degrees right now, but later we are supposed to be hitting 80 degrees. Humidity is at 60, but there's no wind, so don't worry about anything getting blown around or your hair getting messed up or anything like that. And then over our regional temperatures, right now, everybody else is in the 60s as well. Over here in Ironton, down below is the 63. Everywhere else, Athens, we have our 60s, so really good spring weather we're having at the moment. Today, we have a high of 80 degrees and a low 48. On average, it's in the upper 60s, lower 40s, but on record, we had 89 degrees and a low of 25. Luckily, we'll not be having that winter 25, but we're getting near the 80s, which is really awesome to have. We see our pressure we're having over here. The green is the rain, and there is a lot of high and low pressure mixed. We will be seeing that rain later this week on Thursday and Friday, but luckily not right now. There's our afternoon temperatures, our upper 70s and 80s. As you can see, some nice weather. And then tonight, we're gonna have it drop a little bit to our 50s and 40s, maybe to have a nice light jacket on just in case you were doing any activities tonight. But still, nonetheless, really great weather we're having recently. Tonight, you'll see we'll have our 50s. Still, like I said earlier, maybe a nice light jacket if you're gonna do any activities tonight. Mostly cloudy tonight, so if you're gonna do any stargazing or anything, unfortunately, you might not be able to see some since it will be mostly cloudy, but we will not have any rain tonight, which is also a positive. Over here for our hour by hour, at 8 o'clock tonight, it'll still be in your 70s, still great temperatures we're having. By midnight, it will drop to our 60s, still mostly cloudy, and the clouds are here to stay until 6 in the morning, 49 degrees. If you have to be up early, I suggest having a nice light coat. And then looking on to our 7-day forecast, you will see those nice temperatures that I've been talking about. 60s, upper 70s, great weather to do outdoor activities like biking or nice commute to class or work. Lows are staying in the 50s and 40s, still not too bad. Not much precipitation except for Thursday and Friday. We'll have that high chance of rain. But besides that, mostly cloudy, and Saturday and Sunday are lots of sun in the 60s. great day and weekend activities could happen with that. And yeah, great weather we're having for our spring.
Absolutely. I know I plan to get out there and definitely maybe work on a tan or two.
Oh, for sure. Me too.
Yeah, you know, we should definitely get out there and enjoy the nice weather because this weekend it looks like it's going to drop down and get a little chilly out there.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you want to enjoy the beautiful weather, go ahead and check out OU baseball and softball teams in action today.
And tonight, with that light jacket, grab a cup of coffee and enjoy some improv and stand-up comedy at Coffee and Comedy in the Front Room. Now, I know there's some big hustle. I think there was a 4-point game, and I'm hearing a lot about it for some reason.
You know what? I think it was actually a 40-point lead, and Nathan Wiseman is here to tell us exactly what happened in that game.
Yeah, when I was reading this softball box score, I thought I was losing my mind, but in fact, it was a 40-point game. A 10-run mercy rule after 5 innings is set in place by the OHSAA to cut blowout games short. The Alexander softball team did not let up one bit in those 5 innings en route to a 40-0 victory over Nelsonville York. That's right, 40-0. The Spartans got the bats going in the top of the first inning, scoring 16 runs. They scored a single run in the second, then added 13 in the third, 6 in the fourth, and 4 more in the top of the fifth. Hannah Howery went 7 for 7 with 7 RBIs. Nicole Hundle went 4 for 4 at the bat, and Kendall Meeks was 4 for 5. With the win, the Spartans hold a 1-game advantage over Megs in the TVC. Well, it was no 40-0 victory, but the Alexander baseball team picked up a win as well, downing Nelsonville York 10-2 to grab a share of the TVC lead. Alexander took advantage of 9 unearned runs and scored 7 times with 2 outs. The Spartans are rolling at the right time, picking up their 3rd consecutive win. Athens remains a team to keep an eye on for the TVC baseball race. The Bulldogs upset the previously unbeaten Megs Marauders last night 11-1 in 5 innings. The Athens offense racked up 14 hits while junior Brody Rogers pitched a 3-hitter, striking out 4 and giving up 1 in 5 innings. Less than 2 weeks remain until the end of the regular season for local baseball teams. Let's take a look at how the TVC standings are shaping up. The Marauders and Spartans are now tied for first place in the conference, both holding a 6-1 record. Wellston sits in second place, holding a 4-2 record, conference record, and right behind them, the Athens Bulldogs are heating up at the right time, having won 3 games in a row. Trevor Story continues to make history as a rookie and helped his pitcher Jordan Lyles earn a long-awaited win in the process. Story's solo homer snapped in the 8th inning, and Lyles got the first win in over a year as the Colorado Rockies down the Cincinnati Reds 5-1 last night. Story has homers in his first 13 games in the majors, the most through a player's first 13 games in Major League history since 1900. Left-handed pitchers continue to give the Cleveland Indians headaches. The Indians hope to add Wade Miley to the short list of lefties that they've beaten. Miley will be the 7th left-handed starter the Indians have faced in their first 11 games when the Seattle Mariners visit for tonight's series opener. Back in Bob Wren Stadium, the Ohio baseball team will host Morehead State for a midweek clash tonight. Redshirt sophomore pitcher Michael Klein is expected to hit the mound for the Bobcats, while junior Luke Humphreys will likely start for the Eagles. Get to the ballpark early tonight for Pink Night. They'll have T-shirts for the first 500 fans. You can get a free pink T-shirt when you go to Bob Wren Stadium. Just a few weeks ago at the Ohio softball field, just a few feet over at the Ohio softball field, you'll find the Ohio softball team hosting the Ohio State Buckeyes in a doubleheader starting at 4. The Bobcats fell to the Bucks in Columbus last year 12-4. Ohio State holds a 25-11-1 overall record and are 9-4 in Big Ten play. The Bobcats are coming off a doubleheader split with Akron, while OSU is coming off a 3 losses to Michigan. Ohio University's athletic department made nearly $29 million in 2015, but most of that money came from fees charged students as revenue from ticket sales have decreased. Newswatch at Noon reporter Triana Conley spoke with one faculty member who thinks the priorities of the university should change.
We are spending money on something that we cannot afford to be spending money on.
The total revenue from sporting events on campus last year went up nearly $100 million. This may seem like an amazing increase, but is Ohio University actually losing money?
We're losing money if we're putting money into something which either has not been identified as a university priority.
Most of the revenue in 2015 came from undergraduate tuition, distributed to the athletic department.
Many other needs at the university, among the highest of those needs are scholarships for students to make the education more affordable.
But while fees from tuition have increased, ticket sales from games have decreased about $250,000 from 2014. The athletic department spent around $27 million last year. More than half of that to pay coaches and fund scholarships to student athletes.
You know, I think it's ridiculous that a university of our size and that plays at our level is spending well over $500,000 a year to pay two coaches' salary. And I believe what they really need to be doing to save students money is to give out fewer scholarships, maybe sort of at the bottom of that range. And then spend the resources and the time and the effort they put into fundraising, trying to raise money for scholarships for athletes.
Reporting for Newswatch at Noon, I'm Triana Connolly.
McLaughlin hopes that in the future there will be a discussion on campus to figure out what the university community believes is an inappropriate level of spending. A Steven Adams unsuccessful putback attempt at the sound of the buzzer led to the NBA's largest postseason upset in 20 years. The Mavs were 14-point underdogs, making their 85-84 win over the Thunder go down in history. Kevin Durant shot 7 for 33, the most misses in a playoff game since Michael Jordan in 1997. Also around the league, the Warriors beat the Rockets 115-106 without Steph Curry, and the Raptors evened the series with the Pacers with a 98-87 win.
Absolutely. So I know the Cavaliers play tomorrow, so excited to see that game.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be a good game.
Thanks.
And there was some bright lights found in a galaxy not too far away. NASA has released stunning footage of the aurora lights shot from the International Space Station. The aurora borealis, or the northern lights, can be seen at high northern latitudes, and the aurora australis is visible in extreme southern latitudes. Both occur when electrically charged subatomic particles in the Earth's magnetic field collide with neutral atoms in the upper atmosphere. And that's everything for Newswatch at Noon today. Tune into Newswatch tonight at 6 for more election 2016 coverage.
And come back tomorrow at noon as OU students recycle their extra food and furniture for a good cause. Have a great day.